Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to see how land is distributed in Palampur. Okay. So in the last session we have seen how modern farming method had its own advantages and disadvantages. Advantages in terms of revolutionary boost in the farm output, but it had its disadvantages associated with it. How? We have already seen that it led to the loss of natural fertility of the soil, resulted in depletion of the groundwater table, and also had other negative impacts on environment, as the chemical fertilizers killed the microorganisms responsible for the soil fertility, and it also polluted the groundwater by getting absorbed through the layers of soil. Okay, so basically we can say that although green revolution and the modern farming methods are beneficial in the short run, but in the long run they have many disadvantages which cannot be ignored. So if we want sustained growth in agricultural productivity, we have to look for techniques that takes care of all these factors, right? Okay. So now we'll go back to Palampur and see how land is distributed between the farmers of Palampur. Now, first of all, why is it important to know the pattern of distribution of land? See, Palampur being a village, most of the people depend on agriculture for their livelihood. And for agriculture, what do we need? The first basic factor is land, obviously, right? So, the more land you have, you can get more amount of output in terms of grains, pulses, etc. So, you can feed your family as well and you have a healthy life, better life. Plus, you can sell the surplus in other towns and villages and earn good amount of money, which you can reinvest in your farming or have savings to secure your future, right? Now, this is the basic thing, but unfortunately, the land distribution in Palampur is uneven, giving rise to inequality. Let's see how. See, there are 450 families in Palampur. We have seen that already. One third of them, which comes to 150 families, who are mostly Dalits, have no land at all. So they are landless. 150 families out of the 450 families in Palampur are landless. They do not even have land. Now, of the remaining 300 families out of the 450, 150 are landless. So, 300 are left of them. Now, of these 300, 240 families cultivate small plots of land, which is less than 2 hectares. Now, what is hectare? It is the standard unit of measuring land. Okay. So, these 240 families can be called small farmers. They have less than 2 hectares of land and they can be called small farmers. Now, when they cultivate the small plots available with them, it does not give them sufficient income. They can merely manage hand to mouth. Now, if you see in this picture, there are many small plots. Okay, these are the small plots, very small plots scattered around the village, which belong to the small farmers. These belong to the small farmers, okay, who can barely meet the needs of their families. Whereas more than half of the cultivable land, see here, more than half of the cultivable land, this portion is covered by larger plots. These are the larger plots, you can see these larger plots. that belong to a handful of 60 families out of 450. Half of the cultivable land belongs to 60 families out of 450 who are medium and large farmers. Okay, they cultivate more than 2 hectares of land each. Again, of them, few farmers even have more than 10 hectares of land. See, these are much bigger lands. Okay, these are more than 10 hectares of land. Few farmers also have more than 10 hectares of land with them. So the inequality, the uneven distribution of land is so prominent. Okay, if you see here in the picture, this is a large piece of land, relatively large piece of land. Now this is equivalent to 20 small lands, small pieces of land. See here. Okay, 20 small pieces of land. These are very small. And this portion is, this 20 small plots is equivalent to one bigger piece of land. Okay, same thing is happening here also. See, this is a bigger land which is equivalent to almost 20 pieces of small lands. Okay, now just imagine the situation of the small farmers. Okay, I'll show you. Just imagine what must be happening to them. Now suppose just imagine the situation of the small farmers. They already have very small piece of land. Just see how small the piece of land is. Okay, very small piece of land. Now they can hardly manage to survive with what they get out of it. Now see, in your book you have a story of a man called Govind who has been merely surviving from his small piece of almost unirrigated land. Okay, now after his death, the already small plot, this already which is small piece of land, is getting divided among his 3 sons. Now this is getting divided into 3 sons, among 3 sons of Govind. Law of inheritance, right? Now these 3 sons of Govind have so small piece of land. When it is getting divided into 3 parts, can you imagine how small piece of land each of his sons are getting? Now they have such small piece of land that no matter how hard they try, how modern farming method they use, how better irrigation they make in their plots, but they still fail to make a living out of these very small lands. And ultimately they have to look for additional work for their livelihood. So here the inequality is very much prominent, right? So now we have seen here the case of Palampur, our hypothetical village, but the reality in our country is very much close to this. In our country, many such farmers are there, and so the inequality is building up. The rich becomes richer, the poor becomes poorer, right? So with this, we'll close today's session. Next class, we'll see who will provide the labor, which is the next factor of production, the second factor of production. So in Palampur's context, we'll see. Fine. So see you in my next class. Till then, keep learning, keep growing. Bye-bye.